For those of you that are actually new to this channel, this is MykelFX Trade, okay? So if you're new to the channel, make sure that you have already subscribed, because all I do on this channel is for me to actually guide you guys on how you can actually trade. Now, these are two trades I took last week, right? And you can see that this trade did very, very well. Hope you understand. You can see that this trade did very well. This trade I took with FVG. You can see that from the 4 hour time frame, I decided to mark out this particular space. So let me go ahead and go to the 4 hours time frame so that you can see what I'm actually talking about. I decided to mark out these particular points here, which are the point of interest. This is a very big FVG right here. Hope you can see it. This is a very big FVG right here. For those of you that are not seeing it, I'll go ahead and expand it for you to be able to see it properly. This is a very big FVG right here. Okay, this is a very big FVG candle right here. This particular candle, you can see the first one, which is on the left, and you can see the other one which backed it up, which is on the right. So I'm going to actually tell you guys exactly how you can identify FVG in your trade so that you can use them in your trade and also make profit from them. Now take a look at this, bro. Take a look at this. If you are looking at the chart, for instance, you can see that I also still took a trade from this particular point because I was anticipating for price to come to this other block right here. Since this is a valid supply zone, this place is a valid supply zone, I expected price to come to this other block here. So from this particular point, I had to take a trade even though I had missed this particular entry point here. So let me show you guys what I did on the 15 minutes time frame. So all I just had to do was, okay, all I just had to do was come to this point. Okay, that after I had noticed I missed this particular entry point, right? So this was supposed to be my entry right from the top right here. So I decided to use the FVG for a continuous entry pattern. So this is what I did. Okay, so come and look. Okay, I had to wait for a break of structure. So you have to be patient. You have to be patient when you are trading with FVG. I wait for a break of structure, and you have to only see this present before you take a trade. I wait for break of structure, right? So this is our FVG candle right here. You can see the first candle on the left hand side, and you can see the other one on the right hand side. Hope you understand me. So this is our FVG candle right here. So I had to mark out this particular point as the entry point. I used my fib, okay? I used my fib to check where exactly am I supposed to be looking at entry for this particular trade, okay? I don't know, maybe I've forgotten. This is actually where I placed the fib. So you can see it, yeah, exactly. This is where I placed the fib. And whenever I use my fib to confirm entry, right, I always enter at the middle of my fib between the 0.50 to 0.618 level. So you can see this was exactly at the middle where I placed my entry. And you can see how the price just market just came and tap into this zone and then go straight, okay, to take profit. So now what do you look for? That is what I'm going to show you guys now. I wake up this morning just to realize that I was missing one of my trade, okay? So take a look at this right here, my breaker structure. You can see sweep of liquidity. Everything was actually present on this trade. So I was trying to minimize my loss, right? So the first entry I had was from this point. Hope you get me. It was from this point here. You can see the price actually tapped into the other block and just started going back up. And I should have also placed my entry maybe at this point if I wanted to get a better entry. If I wanted to get a better entry, I should have just placed it at that particular point, but I didn't do that. So you can see the price still come back to that particular point, giving us a double bottom, which is a very strong sign for reversal. And now it's actually selling up. Okay, so it is buying. I mean, it is buying up right now. So you can see now that most times miss entry do occur when you are trading with smart money concept. You will be missing a lot of entries. Okay, you'll be missing a lot of entries. So it's still part of learning. So next time you actually know what to do. Like just now I discovered that. Let me go back to the 1 hour time frame and show you guys what I'm talking about. I discovered that if I had actually, you see, this is the big candle here. This is the other block for me. I call this my other block because it is the candle that caused this big break of structure. So if I had just used my fib, okay, if I just use my fib, placed it on this particular point here and draw it down. Hope you are seeing, draw it down. Maybe I wouldn't have missed this entry because I might be looking at from this point or either from the middle. And you see, it can still be a mixed entry. Hope you understand. That's why I say missed entry is always part of the game. You're always going to be missing entry, and it's not a bad thing. So you can see that I always enter at, once you use your fib, I always enter either within this place or above in the middle, and my stop loss is always below the zero level. Hope you understand me. This is exactly how you actually determine how you are making, whether you're making a good. You can even enter at this particular point. Take a look at what I'm doing. You can enter at this particular point here. It just depends on how you want to minimize your risk, but you just be aware that you might get missed entries. Okay, so you might get missed entries. So that is just it. Okay, it's not a bad thing for you to miss a trade. It's not a bad thing for you to miss a trade. So this is it right here. You can see exactly how it works. Okay, you can see how I'm doing it. Now I'm going to show you guys how you can actually find the FVG in the trade. Now I'll show you guys how you can find FVG in your trade. So make sure you're actually watching this video to the end, because at the end of the video you actually know exactly how to find FVG, which is the main goal. So if you look at the chart right now, you're going to see that there is actually a fair value gap at this very point here. Hope you understand me. Which is exactly why when the market came to this particular point, it had to reject all the way down. Now, for what I told you guys, if you are actually going to use your fib now to draw, okay, so we're actually using our fib, for example, now to draw this. Okay, let me go back so that the screen would be blurring. So if you use your fib now to draw this, I hope you are seeing what happened here. I hope you are actually seeing what, if you wanted to trade with this, you can actually see that price came back to retest this fib, this level here, exactly at the fair value gap. This is how you confirm if fair value gap is valid. Okay, so I'll be making a more detailed video on this strategy next time. Okay, so that you can actually know how you are going to be using these two tools in order to trade properly. Make sure you're always following the trend. You have to be working in the direction of the trend. If you're not working in the direction of the trend, you're not going to be able to see this. Okay, so let me just go ahead now and bring this thing back. Now take a look at another example right here. So this is another example right here. For a fair value gap to occur, this is for a sell. Okay, so you can actually see that the first candle here can do anything. Hope you understand me. The first candle can do anything. This is the first candle here. So you can actually see now this is the second candle. It will be an extension. Hope you understand me, that we create that space that we are looking for. So let me go ahead now and look for a box, okay, that we're actually going to use to, okay, we're actually going to use to mark out this now. So if the second candle become an extension, you have to just be patient and wait. You don't even have to be on the chart all the time looking for fair value gap. It will form, so just be patient. Okay, so right now you can actually see that, okay, the next candle now came from this particular point as a wick, and then still had, okay, this is the opening of the candle and this is the close. Hope you understand. So it started as a buy and then it was pushed down as a sell. Hope you understand me. So now you can actually see that this is a fair value gap at this point. And what happened exactly when price retested this fair value gap? Let me mark it right. You can see what happened there, that the market actually sold. So if you had entered a trade, let me just say, for instance, now you enter a trade like this now. Maybe you enter a trade at this very particular point blindly without any confirmation, without using your smart money concept, and then you put your stop loss above the high of this candle, either this high, you can put it like this. You will be able to catch 1 to 2 risk reward. This is even 1 to 3. Hope you understand me. I hope you can see how trading with FVG can just be very simple for you to use and trade. So I'll be making a full video guide on this particular strategy very soon. Okay, so we'll be using smart money concepts and you also join it with FVG in order to trade. How do you actually do that? This is a break of structure here. Hope you understand me. So once you identify a break of structure, this is just going to be like an inducement. Hope you are getting me. This is going to be like an inducement. For me, if I want to trade fair value gap, I always wait for it to happen this way. Hope you understand me. I always wait for it to happen this way. So make sure that you're actually following up on this channel, so that you can actually stay consistent while winning, so that you can be winning as others are winning, because trading these days now is so easy that everything has been made visible on the net. And as I'm also doing right now, that is how you can find other helpful videos around, so that you can be winning. Make sure you're following the right steps in order to trade. I'll see you guys after we have started winning, and that is it, guys. You can go ahead and watch this video again so that you can know what I really explained in this video. It's very easy to understand and very simple. I'll see you guys next time. From this particular point right here, there is a fair value gap at this particular point here. So if you see what the market did, for example, it had to break structure, right? It had to break structure. I will not advise you to trade this fair value gap. I won't advise you to trade it, because you can see that the market is just coming down. Wait, let me get this down. You can see that the market is trying to tell you that, okay, I'm reversing. All you just have to do is to wait for a break of structure and your fair value gap formed. Once you see your fair value gap, you have to mark out your break of structure. You have to make sure that you're confirming with your fib. Hope you understand me. You're confirming with your fib. Hope you're getting me. You have to make sure you're confirming with your fib. And once you have confirmed with your fib, your entry points, all you just have to do now is to go ahead and place your entry. Sometimes you can have your stop at this very particular point, but you can see that right now this is going to be very, very high and just give you 1 to 2 risk reward trade if you have your stop like that. Okay, if you have your stop like that, you give you 1 to 2 reward trade. But me, I always keep my stop above this high here. Hope you get me. I always keep my stop above that high. So that is exactly how you trade with FVG, guys. That is exactly how you trade with FVG. This trade should have stopped here. It's just a simple move. Should have stopped here, and then you can see how it moved. If someone have traded with just FVG, you just seen your break of structure. Make sure you're confirming that yes, the market is breaking structure to the downside before you then use FVG. You don't have to use FVG when the market is trying to make like reverse. You are not actually sure that it is selling. So you have to always move with the trend. Okay, you have to always move with the trend. I'll see you guys next time.